Cold outside, miserable, windy and wet. Endless grey skies. Damn them all, you say to yourself. There's only one thing to do. Make a nice big stew. Yep, on days like this, you've got to make the best of it. Can't do anything outside. So the best thing to do is make yourself something nice to eat. And what we're going to do today is, if it wasn't for the meat, it would be a Greek salad, a Greek soup, a fesolada. Fesolada paracalo. And we're going to do it in the Dutch hot pot. Get it all in there. But we're going to add some meat. Fleisch. And let's get going. Now the basic thing we need is lots of onions in there. Lots of shallots. I love shallots. I love how you can just throw them in whole and they disappear, leaving a rich taste behind. I love shallots, but I hate peeling them. But such is life. It's not all beer and Skittles. Damn shallots, making my eyes water. Shed the tears for the shallots. Damn you shallots, making me emotional again. So we've got our shallots here, plenty of olive oil, throw in this meat. So there we have that ready to go, and we'll just put that in on the gas and fry that up a little bit. So let them fry up a bit, and while that's frying up, I do these celery. I'll give them a wash first. Can't beat root vegetables, bringing you back to reality. So as I said, I'll fry these up and get them nice and brown and a bit caramelised. And when it's all done, all the veggies in, then we're going to put it in the oven on a low light and just leave it all afternoon to cook down slowly. Because that's just what you need on a grey and miserable day. Some might call it an Irish stew. But due to these big paprikas here, maybe you could call it a goulash. Or as I said, with the beans in there, you could call it fesolada, Greek bean stew. I wish I could be one of those people who's not always worrying about stuff, who can't enjoy themselves because they're always worrying about the consequences. Pointing example is, a couple of weeks ago I had to go back over to England at short notice for a funeral, and it's quite easy to get back really. I can go down to Basel in Switzerland and get a cheap flight from EasyJet for 100 quid to Manchester and then the train over to Leeds. So I did that, and it's quite easy, but I always feel bad about it. Them cheap flights. First thing, I don't understand how they can function. Like a plane costs 20 million quid. If anything breaks on a plane, like a small part, each part costs 50,000. But they still seem to be able to do it. I never understand how. And even if you do the math and work out all the fares and how many flights a day, it still doesn't seem enough to cover the costs to me. But what do I know? Nothing. I think planes make people act strange. I was on the plane and I was coming back and it was totally full. Not one place free. And there was a guy sitting next to me and he was looking up at the guy in front of him, because the guy in front was fiddling around with the luggage in the overhead compartment. And this guy was getting nervy and he said, "Be careful with that bag up there." He says, "It's got expensive camera equipment in there." And the guy who was messing about in the overhead compartment said, "Okay, I'm sorry." And you think that was it. And that guy sat down, and the one next to me leaned over the seat and says to him, "You know how much that camera cost in that bag? It cost thousands of pounds." And this guy looks around and he said, "Yeah, okay, I've apologised. What more do you want me to do?" And then this nutcase sitting next to me on the plane put his hand up to the stewardess and said, excuse me, this gentleman is causing me offence. He's being argumentative." And then he pointed to me and said, "And here's a witness to everything that's happened." And I'm looking at the guy and I'm saying, "I'm not your witness, mate. I'm nobody's witness here. And in my opinion, you're acting the dickhead." And this big air hostess, you know, they're not like they were in the 60s walking around in miniskirts. She was more of an Ina Sharples hostess, Manchester girl. And she just went, "Shut up, you two, or you're both off plane." And that made me laugh. And I never seen two grown blokes shut up as quick as possible, as quick as that. Anyway, you get in flight, plane's climbing, and they have to get out the trolley with the drinks and the snacks as quick as possible so they can sell them. And it's only 1.5 hour flight, sometimes 1 hour 20 minutes if the wind is behind you. But everyone's got to have a drink. They've got to have a snack, some pot noodle, pot couscous, a little bottle of wine. Can't they just sit for 1 hour without having it stuff in their faces? So everyone got the drinks, and the gay guy on the trolley said, "Anybody else want a drink? Because we're closing now." And then he went along the aisle collecting all the rubbish, and he collected 3 bags this big, this so big, bags full with rubbish, plastic. Everything comes in plastic on the plane for ease of for lightness. And I just thought, each flight, 3 massive bags of rubbish, and on top of that you've got all the kerosene that we use in there. If you look at the CO2 imprint, whatever they call it these days, how much it is when you go on a plane flight, it's unbelievable. And not only that, have you noticed on a blue sky, and then if there's enough moisture in the air and the contrails start to form, by mid-afternoon the whole sky is overcast with these contrails, and that really bugs me too. You know, there's idiots like me up in the plane, or people going for some stupid stag do to Czechoslovakia to get pissed, and for that everybody under the plane has got to sit under the murk of the man-made clouds. Why can't I just enjoy the flight? Why can't I just order some wine and get a bit tiddly and enjoy it like everyone else? Why do I always have to look on the dark side? I don't know. Yep, so I got up this morning, looked out of the window. Nimbostratus. Clouds. Skirts of rain. Rain everywhere. Wind. And I had a look at the weather forecasts, and it's the same for the next 5 days. And sometimes it makes you just want to draw the curtains and get back into bed. But instead I thought I'll go down the shops and get the ingredients for a hearty stew. Because when it's like that, nothing better than a big hearty stew. Fresh vegetables. Even looking in the stew, I'm thinking, I hope that meat's not got too many antibiotics in there. Can't I just enjoy the meat? I'm looking at the Spanish onions. What do they call them? Falafels? No. Feebles? No. Oh God, my mind's going as well. Now I'm worrying about Alzheimer as well. Shallots already. So I'm going to let that just cook enough till the meat looks brown. And put some beans, not beans, carrots and potatoes. Carrots and potatoes. And a spoonful of Gemüsebouillon, which is dried vegetables and salt, basically. Chuck that in. And I'm thinking about salt. Do my heart in. I don't really bother about that. I think all that stuff about too much salt is the same thing as too much butter, and this stupid thing about drinking 3 litres of water a day, which has now been said to be bad because you drain all the minerals out of your body. So I just stopped thinking. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. And the beans. I look at the beans and worry about the beans. The ghost in the bean. That's Plato. Was it Plato or Socrates? The followers of Plato and Socrates were not allowed to eat beans because they believed there was little ghosts in the beans. Who knows? Rucola. I chop up some rucola. Now I'm worrying about the guys in Italy, the guys from Africa who have to pick the rucola. No, I'm not. Now I'm worrying you shouldn't put rucola in there because it's salad. But it's quite nice when it cooks down as well. Mix it in. Now what I'd usually do is put a tin of tomatoes in there. But the last few days, I think I've been eating too many dishes with tin tomatoes. So we're just going to have it with a clear brew today. Just water in there. Even a touch more of the magic powder. So what we'll do now, we'll just let this cook for half an hour on a low light. And a low light. It's a cast iron pan, so it holds the heat good. And then we'll put it in the oven at about 100 degrees for 4 hours, and it will all become soft and tasty. So that's cheered me up a bit. Hope it's cheered you up too.